Hi, my name is Javier. I am going to be presenting the slide of the New Deal. In this slide, I will be talking about the New Deal that affected women in my case. Now, to begin, the New Deal spawned many programs, including the FDIC, SEC, PWA, and the CWA. All these programs benefited the people, especially the women of America. Also jump-started it. All the programs did many different things for women, and mainly for women and other people. The FDIC guaranteed that people would get some money back if the banks were closed or became bankrupt. The SEC was the stock market became regulated to prevent other stock market crash. So the meaning that it wouldn't that it would prevent it for it to happen again, and so far it hasn't happened again at all, so that's good. The Fair Labor Standards. Working has been limited to 40 hours each week instead of other people getting the same pay but working 80 hours. The Fair Labor Standards made it so they can get the same pay for only 40 hours. It was limited. They couldn't work more. It gave people jobs. It did so many things especially for women, since they were suffering a lot for the Great Depression. Since they were basically housewives, they were able to get jobs and start from there. The negative effects about the New Deal: the national debt grew, meaning that the U.S. owed more money to basically from the beginning. So they had to put more money in, but of course they owe the money. Number two, the government's power grew a lot. By this, I mean they had basically any option they could. Basically, they had control over everything, and for that, meaning that they could be controlling if the oil prices can go up, if these certain groups of people couldn't work, like women. The government had the choice of them making them housewives once more. They had so many choices and so much control, and the people couldn't do nothing because they needed the help. It opened a lot of issues like welfare abuse, especially for women. They weren't treated as humans. I read in an article that they were treated like dogs. They were kept in different locations, and for their they did horrible jobs for a little pay, and it wasn't safe. At first, working at the factories, the women didn't have any work experience. It wasn't safe. They weren't trained right, and the New Deal had a tremendous amount of good effects, but also it wasn't the best plan ever. There could have been some other things that they could have fixed. But for this, the New Deal created all these programs that helped all groups, especially women, during the suffrage of the Great Depression.